Today on Weapon Talk, we're going to be talking about the Sica. The Sica was a bent sword used by the gladiators. Yeah. So the Sica is just like this 2.5 foot long sword with a bent with a bent blade. Now you might be asking, well, what good is it if it has a bent blade? Well, let me tell you. If your opponent had a shield and you're gonna 1v1 them, this sword is just for you. It couldn't pierce through the shield. Well, it depends on what your opponent's shield is made of. Let's say your opponent's shield is made out of wood. Okay, this metal thing is probably gonna cut through it, but it's gonna take up a lot of your energy. So instead, you just want to stab him in the side. So you do that, and this curved piece of blade was long enough for you to stab your opponents through the side. Like the blade was long enough, and that's why it has this curve. This curved blade to stab, so it can get around the shields. And yes, you can still stab normally with this weapon. This is the variation I know. But then there's this one too, which looks like a hook. This one, which just looks like it just looks like the. This just looks like a freaking sickle. And yeah, there's this. It was a very effective weapon, and you can just swing it around. It wasn't that heavy too. It weighed like around 3 pounds. But nonetheless, but it wasn't a really good weapon when your opponent had armor. But other than that, it was still a good weapon. So I give this weapon 36 out of 50. Now, why do I give it 36 out of 50? Well, it's because it didn't have that good long range, but it was still an effective weapon in other ways. The fact that it's bent blade actually has a purpose is a good thing. It can get around shields, And plus, it made an effective stabbing weapon nonetheless. So yeah, that's why I rank it at 36 out of 50. It couldn't pierce through tough armor, but it could still get around, like, stabbing them. But yeah, bye bye. Thank you for joining this episode of Weapon Talk.